Did you screen share?
All right. A very good afternoon to everybody. This is the iCare About Earth Healthy Living Lifestyle Workshop. This is week number 6. This is the last of our journey together. We've been together for 6 weeks, learning a lot and seeing some great food demos and explanations about healthy living from our own chef Estela. And we're going to get started with today's program. We have a great program planned for you. We have Q&A at the end, and we hope that if you hadn't had an opportunity to view most of it in its entirety over these past 6 weeks, you check out our YouTube channel where you will be able to find all of the previous 5 episodes. All right. Right now, without any further ado, as I say, I'd like to introduce to you the one and only Professor and Chef Estela Windwalker.
Thank you, Stu, and good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for being here. And today is our workshop number 6. Today, we're going to discuss about a balanced plant-based lifestyle for people, animals, and planet. I'm going to summarize what we have been talking and also to see a healthy environment for not only for us, but also for the animals and the planet. If you have any questions, just place them in the chat and then I will answer them in the Q&A. So let us start now. The agenda for today. So last Saturday, we talked about rejuvenation. And some of you weren't able to be here, but they have the opportunity to make up, to look at all those workshops before. And next Saturday is going to be our graduation, in which you will give us some testimonial about this program. I would appreciate that. And also I'm going to give out some certificates. The people who attended most of this workshop, and all of you are eligible. You have to make them up also to look in there what we have been talking about. All right, so today we talk about the balanced diet. We are going to talk about Dr. Yober Yang, who advises what is the best way to eat the plant-based, 70-80 and 20 on 30. Then I'm going to show you some of the culinary techniques, reviewing of how to prepare live and cook food. And then we talk also about that all this is not only the food, but it's what we call a lifestyle medicine. So we're going to talk about the climate crisis. The COP is the global summit that we had, and what they talk about, what is the carbon footprint, how is affecting and us, the greenhouse effect, what is an unsustainable agriculture, and everything we can change it to an sustainable agriculture or lifestyle. And there is always just many options that I'm going to show you what I have been doing. So all of you can also be part of that and just try to talk to people about all this issue. So and today we have been working here with Carlos. So since 10:30 to have the cooked food about Thanksgiving menu. So now you're going to have the whole Thanksgiving menu from my book, the appetizers, the stuffed mini mushroom, you have the pages, then cashew cheese, then the entree. We're going to have a roasted cauliflower or a turkey cauliflower, if you want to call it like this. Butternut squash baked, basmati rice, cranberry sauce, tomato sauce, and you also have in my book another option. This is optional, that you can make a mock turkey loaf. That this is made with the pumpkin seeds, and that is on page 79. And then dessert, the pumpkin pie, the vegan pumpkin pie with cream topping, that is cashew. This is optional. And then for beverages, you're going to have a spring water, coconut water, and a sparkling apple cider. So here I give you appetizers, entries, dessert, and beverages, and you're going to have everything for your Thanksgiving menu. All right, so let me talk in there. Okay, so let's start with this one, and no, let's one. So this is one of the culinary techniques that we talk about live food. We talk about how we're going to soak. Here it shows there, soaking. Blending, very, very important. Blending provides with all the nutrients and the fiber that you need. There are many examples that we made, we talk about it. Blended sauces, blended smoothies and soups. Massaging, okay, we did the massaging the kale, how you're going to massage, of course. And then we have sprouting, show you how you can eat sprouts, marinating, dehydrating, fermenting. And according to the live food philosophy or living food, the enzymes are lost when they are at 117 Fahrenheit. If you look in your oven, everything starts with 200. So that's why that they use a dehydrator. But everything is a balance, we said. So you can eat these enzymes and all this living food or live food, and then you can add the cooked food. So this is about live food. We talk about the culinary techniques about cooked food. Saute, how you are going to sauteing, not with oils, with water, with veggie broth or orange juice, or just water. So no oils for sauteing. Then the other way that you can also prepare your cooked food is boiling. Make sure that you use a thermometer, whether you're going to boil or know for how long, if you're going to bake. Steaming vegetables also, they can be steamed in a steamer. And we talk about baking also. Roasting. We all love roasting, grilling, and toasting, and we like this dark crust. So they advise to just roast or grill or toast until you have this golden brown color. Avoid charred food, dark. Why? Because this one converts into what is called acrylamide. And acrylamide is a compound that it makes by just making whether meat or whether vegetables or any food dark. And it is a human carcinogen. So that's why we advise you to toast or to grill or to roast until you have that golden brown. And here we have the culinary philosophy of plant-based about eating the four main, from the four main areas. We have fruit, okay, 2 to 3 servings. Seeds and nuts, they are healthy, but they advise to have 1 to 2 servings. And they need to be, remember, soaked. Or if you want them crunchy, you soak them and you dehydrate them, or you put them in the oven. Vegetables, 4 to 5 servings. The legumes, very, very important. That give you the protein, give you the fiber that you need. And then we have the gluten-free grains or complex carbohydrates. Instead of white rice, brown rice. So this is important, that they are complex carbohydrate, there are no problem. And always to have some of the tubers, like root vegetables, like pumpkin and butternut squash and potatoes. So, but the 4 main or the 3 main most important are the vegetables, the legumes, and the whole grains. These are the one complex carbohydrates. I gave you many options about the gluten-free. So that's try to use those one if you are having problem with your stomach, and you are going to see a lot of difference. And also the fruit, the fruit, for example, it has to be eaten after you eat your food. After 2 hours is dessert or fruits. There are some that they can be used also with the vegetables, like the berries, the apple. Those are that you can use, with the vegetable. But in general, especially the sweet fruits, you have to eat them alone. Watermelons alone after 2 hours of your main meal. So remember to that, the barbecuing and all that, to try to avoid this acrylamide, the human carcinogen. So this is in summary what we cover. Now, live food and cooked food. This is not, let me see which is the one that I have to go there, but it's not going through.
You want to click on slide number 6?
Trying to go to the next one, but it's not going. It's not, I don't know. Okay. So we also talk about lifestyle medicine. The American Association of Preventive Medicine, Dr. Dean Ornish, who started this organization, tells about, he wrote many books, and he talks about the causes, that the causes of illnesses happen on many levels simultaneously. And there are 4 main categories or areas to take into account. One is the nutrition, the whole food, plant-based diet, low in fat and sugar. Exercise, moderate exercise, walking, very important. You can add other modalities too. Relaxation, very important. It's very important to de-stress. Meditation, gentle yoga, or Qigong is another energy type, Chinese energy type exercise. And also there is love, social connection. So now we haven't been able to have that social connection with other people, but we have to be able to, in certain way, now you can have that connection with your animals, with nature, with your neighbors. There is always a way to get connection with other people. And I just want to tell you about Dr. Yang, who talks about the 70 and 80. He talks about, in order to have a healthy body, and he wrote his book, The pH Miracle. And that is important to have that about live food or plant-based food, 70%. But I think that until you get the 70%, if you're not still in there, you can start with 40, or you can start with 30%. And then leave the 20 or 30% for the cooked food and for your animal-based protein that many of you still said. But if you do a 20% of the animal protein, and then you increase the alkaline diet, that it is fruits and vegetables, special vegetables and whole grains, and what we talk about. So remember that the first time, the first presentation, we talk about the pH of the body. So the pH and that the blood is mildly alkaline, and we need to strive to get 60, like 6 or 7. 7 is the base of alkaline food. That this is what is going to protect you, to have a strong immune system, not to have many colds, and feel good and in control of what you can do for yourself, for your own health, and the health of the family and the neighbors and the people around you. So if you can start with the 40%, or start eating more vegetables and grains and legumes, all right? So in the way that I show you, different ways, and in my book also you have there, or you also have my phone number or a text message that you can call me. I'm always open to help people with questions that they may have, or any way that they want to start. And
the arrow is not working?
no, it's not working. Doesn't matter. I'm going now with the number 7. It's not working, the arrow. Okay, so now that's fine. So now we are going, once we at our own personal level, we know what we have to do. We have to consider this climate crisis. There is a threat to the earth biodiversity. The livestock farming is the second largest contributor to greenhouse gas emission. Then of course, the deforestation that you already know about Latin America, the sea level rise, the ice cap melt in Iceland. They are melting all the ice caps. You see all this erratic behavior that affect communities around the earth. And also what it started in 2018 and 2019, it was teenagers, this new generation, telling us, elders, older people who are in control, and governments, what type of earth you are leaving to us. And that was very, very strong. And it is that we need also have to consider the younger generation. So they did huge protest climate change. If you were aware, and they requested and they got involved with environmental justice. There are many children who are 12 and 13 years old, like in here you see Greta Thunberg from Sweden. She was the one who started demanding to have clean energy. And as a teenager, you see life in a different way. And in certain way, what we adults are doing and helping, what type of earth we are leaving to the younger generation. So it is a call for everybody, for all the governments and all that. And you see the wildfires that they are happening more and more, the draft, tornadoes and all this one that it happened. Okay, so this one. So this is something that, and I invite you, there is a documentary, it's called I Am Greta. And I think that is is by in Hulu, that you can try to watch that documentary. So it is a call, a reflection to all of us. Why must we all take action now? We talk about the one that recently finished, the government with COP, the global organization called 26 that happened in Glasgow this year. It's called Conference of the Parties. And these are all the countries that, according to the United Nations, they signed a treaty in 1994. And this is what the younger generations and the teenagers who are activists, they are requesting, just to be honest and fulfill their promises. I know that it's not easy, but we have to take into account that in October 2021 was the third warmest in record history. So we see the heat on Earth increasing with 42 degrees centigrade. And we have to be aware that 57 of the greenhouse emissions, all the things that we produce, so it's what is causing this problem and behavior. And I'm going to explain a little bit more, show you a photo, what is the greenhouse emissions. And also to take into account that animal agriculture, food and livestock is what is at this, in 2019, it was 51%. Now going into reliable data, now it's 57% of greenhouse emissions. So we need to be, to know about this, to start working with ourselves and with the people around us. We all know about the rainforest deforestation for cattle production. And so that covered 10,476 square kilometers that they clean to raise cattle. So what are the actions to implement? So all these governments agreed to keep the global temperature to 1.5 centigrades by 2050. And this is very, very important for life on Earth, for all of us. So the United States promised to cut greenhouse emissions by 52% by 2030. This is what they agree in this, all these government officials from around the world, provide resources to farmers, states, tribes, communities in order to see how to conserve or to regenerate the soil, the forest. Also, they talk about clean energy. This is a little bit more difficult. So with wind, solar, electric car, solar, wind. And the most important thing is to build this country resilience. So that is the reason that I took this course with the community level to help people know what they can do and get stronger with all these changes at the personal level, because this is where desperation starts and people don't know what to do. So it's better to see what did happen and how we can help and get stronger, and just try to make our own food or look for farmers, local farmers. We talk about that too, that they can provide you with the food that you need, the basic, and to start using less and less of our resources that we still need. We need them to have as just here in the United States, but also globally. So we want to prepare people for these climate disasters, okay? Now, what is the carbon footprint, okay? If you see here in this infographic, we have that carbon footprint is the total amount of greenhouse gases, including carbon dioxide and methane, generated by our actions. And so the major contributors are food, consumption, transportation, household energy, livestock, beef especially. So globally, we are spending 4 tons. Because of the global warming, we need to try to reduce to half by 2050 by 2 tons. So the less it is our our carbon footprint, what we spend, the better it's going to be for yourself, your family, to have clean water, clean air, and for the animals and the planet. If you see in here, the carbon footprint, meat lovers, okay, it is a 3.3 that they spend. The average then is 2.5. If you don't eat beef, then your carbon footprint slows down to goes under 1.9, reduces, that we all need to have that. Vegetarian is 1.7. Vegetarian means that you don't eat meat, but you eat the byproducts of the animal, that it is dairy, the dairy and the eggs. This is the meaning of vegetarian. Vegan is that they don't eat animal products, and they don't eat the byproducts like milk and eggs. So, and then they can be reduced to 1.5. So if you see in here, I think that is a personal responsibility of where we are, and try to make, a sacrifice for one day. There is the campaign that is called Meatless Monday, that you say, well, for today, I'm not going to eat anything with animal products or its byproduct. And in my book, you have plenty of recipe, and you have many things that you can start in that way one day, and then you add another day. And there is no reason to be afraid, because all the protein and all the nutrients that you need, they are all in there. They are in all the plant-based food. It's not just like a little piece, like the meat, So this is what we spend. Also here, there is a video that Stu will place in the chat, that from YouTube, very well done, that I want you to watch whenever you have time, talking about climate change. It says, we are the problems and the solutions. It is very, very, very well done. So this is something for you just to watch and share with other people. And we are depleting our air resources. Look at the greenhouse effect. The sun is the number one, that produces the necessary energy and the heat to the planet. It heats planet Earth. So the idea, the Earth also, by number 2, just in an ideal way, return all this to the atmosphere, the heat that doesn't need anymore. But unfortunately, this great thing that you have in there that we did not have, number 3. So the heat gets trapped in what is called the greenhouse gases that we talk about, that carbon dioxide. We talk about how all these other gases that they are not good for us, or especially for the earth. It's just instead of going the heat of the sun going back to the atmosphere, it just gets trapped in that gray, and it hit more and more the planet. And that's why we are having now, all the government, they are desperate, and they tell people that, and scientists are saying that Earth, there won't be, little by little and year by year, things are getting worse and worse. So try to get the temperature in 1.5. Otherwise, there won't be life on Earth for us as human. So this is very important to understand about the greenhouse effect and what is happening. So we are talking about an unsustainable agriculture. That's why in the rainforest, they are clearing all that, because there isn't enough land in order to continue raising the beef and having all that livestock. So the animal, it means that is the animal agriculture and its byproducts, okay? The egg, the milk, the butter, all the dairy products. So how does it affect the air? The livestock, it's just, it's 65% of nitrous oxide is the gas emission. So we don't have clean air. This is what is affecting. 80% of ammonia and hydrogen sulfide emissions. They also have to spray this liquid in the manure, and all that goes into the air. So that's why there are a lot of people with a problem with asthma, and it's increasing, especially in the coastal areas and in areas just communities that they don't have the resources in the developing countries. Now the water, what happened with the water? 23% the global fresh water supplies the growth of livestock. So they need a lot of water. The farm pollutes the waterways and pollutes the forests and the rivers where they are, and the ocean, causing acidification in the ocean. The land, what is this animal agriculture takes 30% of the air land masses. Maybe now it is a little bit more to raise animals. Okay, so in the United States, approximately 80%. So here is more in the developed country than in the developing countries. Food, mostly the food, 70% of the grain that is grown, it is not for people, it is for animals to feed the livestock. 16 pounds of grain, they need to feed it, the livestock, in order to get 1 pound of meat. The fish also, now they are not a wild fish. That's why if you want to eat fish, you need to get wild caught, because they are now, they raise them in a pond. It's a farm fish, okay? So they put them in big pond and in the water, and in order, they need to put a lot of antibiotics, so people do not get all the bacteria from the fish. You know, they are human and they are live. So, and the same happened with chicken and with meats. They need to put the antibiotic. They put a lot of antibiotic. So when you eat that meat, it doesn't cause you problem. And even though there are many cases that you don't realize, inflammation is one of the way to see how inflamed you are, that all this is just producing. So 5 pounds of wild caught fish, they need to feed them. It gives 1 pound of farm fish flesh. So if you are going to eat fish, make sure that you eat the wild caught, that this is the one that is the healthiest that you can get, you know. And all this causes a human health crisis. We already know about all that. So that is very important. And I want you to look at this one and have in your vision this greenhouse effect and what we're all doing. We're all responsible in doing. So if we start with ourselves, with our family, more and more people, younger people, most of the younger generation, they do not eat meat anymore. And during the last year, it increased the number of meat-like options. I was really surprised when I went to Whole Foods and I found a whole section with meat options. Of course, that it's better to eat better plant-based. Many of those options, they are not very healthy. You need to read ingredients. But people still want that, if people still want that flavor, you know, of the meat, well, there you have. And in that way, you are not going to get the bacteria, the resistant to antibiotics, because you are eating a lot of antibiotic. So to eat organic and to eat wild caught, and it's not now something luxury. It's something for your own health. If you really want to get a little bit healthier, spend money on food. That would be number one. I didn't understand that either. So, so it took a while until I learned, and I tried to make my budget because I was a high school teacher and it was not, I didn't have enough money in order for food, and food would be the last thing that I would leave. No budget for food. So, but this is the way that we learn. You can all read my story and how sick I got. Then I couldn't work anymore, and thanks God that I got the right people and the right courses in which I learned the different ways. And in 2003, I took this course with Brenda Cobb, and for 10 days, it was a plant-based lifestyle, and that really changed my life. And I started eating plant-based, and I didn't know at that time, but that makes a lot of difference in the way I felt. And I got rid of all the illnesses that are associated with a lack of good diet. So, which are the solutions? One of the solutions is to have greens around you. Have small plants. This would be an organic greenhouses. Why green? Why plants? Because plants take in the carbon dioxide and give off the oxygen. And we all need oxygen. Oxygen is the most important. We cannot live without oxygen. So this is the solution at community level, in your own home, in your own neighborhood. You can start your own greenhouse. You can start planting. There are people in the community that they can help you if you want to start planting and having your own vegetables with a raised bed very easily. Some people know how to do that, and if you are willing to do, we can tell you, because this is very important. And then we go that what is a sustainable lifestyle? The sustainable lifestyle is just to have compassion, compassion for ourselves, compassion for the people who are not at the same level, not to judge them, not to criticize them. No, we are not going to, we can't do by feeling angry and by forcing people is not easy. So I understand all those teenagers that they are activists now and they are demanding to have a clean earth. And especially for the farm animals, because people, they have a lot of compassion with their own pets, but not with farm animals. And start thinking, what we do to the animals in order for us to get the pleasure, or it is just an addiction of meat, how they suffer. What happened? I don't know. There are many movies that you can watch. What happened? The latest movie you can try. There is a documentary called Gunda, G-U-N-D, Gunda. So that tells from the point of view of a mother, because these animals are mother too, and when they take out their babies and they impregnate them, all for us to have food. So we need to start thinking and having that compassion for them too. And I say, I'm going to at least to start one day a week. It's called Meatless Monday, or any day, just to not to eat any food that is called I'm going to eat plant-based. I'm not going to use, and there is going to be my compassion for the animals. So what is the plant-based food? Well, many people do not understand, but there are many articles and research. And this is one from the Lancet journal. I am very careful when I look into all those articles that they come from reliable sources. And also that there is not a controversy who pays for these studies. So who pays for that science? So we also need to be careful about that. That will tell you whether it's a reliable source in doing research or not. So, and it says that vegan diets, they made a research, is one of the greatest, contribute to the greatest reduction in greenhouse gas emissions, So that is that this is the way where is my advocacy, trying to just share this with people and trying to give them the facts, because people don't know, many people don't know about this. So Cowspiracy is just another documentary, also very well researched, and that is another documentary that you can watch. So this, and here is the difference of that 1.5 acres can produce 37,000 pounds of plant-based food. So there is no shortage. The shortage is because we're using the unsustainable agriculture. But if we use a sustainable agriculture, and if we use the land more to raise vegetables and fruits and legumes and grains, so there is more than enough food. And versus 1.5 acres can produce 370 pounds of meat, compared with the same type of land, 37,000 pounds of plant-based food. So this is also to take into account what can I do? Because as I say, now is the time. All this government, they met as a government, they are trying to do their best. It's not easy, but what are we doing? What am I doing at the personal level to make this a personal mission of myself, my children, my grandchildren? If we don't have grandchildren, what are we leaving to future generations? There are some students who I remember one of the students told me why they are giving us this food here at school. And I realized that I became very sick. And she tried to blame, and I say, there is no way to blame. They don't have any other way. And remember, schools, the first thing that the schools are here is to give education, not to provide with food, but because of the circumstances, they have to provide with food too. So if you are ready, let us start a group. Let us start a group and let us start talking about all these issues. But at that time, the teenagers would suffer. They realized it, but they were not able. But now we have a strong advocacy from elementary, middle school. So these kids know they are adults in the way they think, the way that they know the science. And I advise you again to watch the documentary of I Am Greta, what she did and how she faced all these governments and all that. Who dared to do such a thing when I was a teenager, or when I stopped teaching like 10 years ago. 10 years ago, we didn't, more than 10 years, we didn't have that. But little by little, right now, we have a different type of a younger generation who are demanding what we are doing for the earth. And it's not only about the fossil fuels. Fossil fuels, if you think, in order to provide all the food that the livestock needed, this is also part of fossil fuels. The burning, the transportation that they have to do that. But why? Why we are talking about this? Because there is enough research that shows that the livestock farming is the second leading cause of all the ills that we have here with climate crisis. It's not climate change, it's a crisis right now. And we have to take this seriously. And every year is going to get worse and worse. But everything starts with me. And what can I do? Not to think about the government or other, what can I do for myself, from what I'm going to live, and for the people that I know for my community. Then you can go at a global way or to do type of advocacy. But the first one, you need to start with yourself. So here we have that. That's why that I developed I Care About Earth program. And Jeff also helped me to create this program too. Chef Tucker, who is the CEO, the founder of Air Safe Miami and Save the Air Eco Center, and that they are helping me also with the technical part about doing all this workshop and to, of course, to catalyst. So I developed that for children, parents, and adult seniors. We used to have potluck every month. And then in the potluck, I will give this presentation. I have English and Spanish positive earth actions. Just not to think, to do a pledge, no. Promise, no. Action, what am I doing right now? Or what are the things that when I read all these 10 basic positive earth action about the food that I eat, what I can do. So there are, here I give them, and this is available if any of you is interested. It is just to share and to give it to people so they can, you can work and you can talk in your own community, in your own church, if you have children or grandchildren, okay, at the schools. I go to school also. I am a presenter that I can go to school and show with truth what is the research and what type of research they need to be using. So, and I'm giving 10 plant-based eating options. And we did it with children, with parents. We have a lot of photos too in my website. And we created this form that you can see in here. And one of the options is that this Julian, 9 years old, he was at one of the padlock, and he decided, and I say, use one, choose one, because sometimes it's too much if they don't know. So that's why that I developed this 10 plant-based eating options, that they are very simple and anybody can do it. I choose fresh fruit instead of sugary desserts. Excellent, because children now with the food that they eat, they are not getting a good brain. They cannot work and score in tests. So all this is just blocking all these artificial sweeteners and all that, all this sugary dessert is not good for the children. And for adults also too is not good. So this is for everybody. So this is what I have been doing, and whenever I had an opportunity, I go and I try to convince people that they can listen, you know. They show me, and the media doesn't show the real truth. And then there are a lot of conflicting opinions. So I am careful about that and what I can share with people. You know the truth, now it's up to you to decide what you want to do. And I want to leave you with these thoughtful quotations. Food for thought. Be truthful and loving to Mother Earth, Pachamama, Tierra Madre. That for me, I write poems too. So next Saturday, that is the end, I'm going to read some of my poems too about how I enjoy Mother Earth and how I feel about Mother Earth. Be the change you want to see in the world, from Mahatma Gandhi, that you've seen. And remember that every day is Earth Day. And finally, we all have to get involved with the community leadership. We're all leaders on the environment, advocacy, and resilience. We're going to help our community and the people who don't, not to be afraid, but how to get prepared for all these changes, because there are changes that are happening right now. So, and let's remember what this Native American, it's a Native American proverb. We do not inherit the land. We borrow it from our children. So what do you want to, what type of earth do we want to leave to our children? The land is not ours. It just belong to the earth and to generations and the future generations. And what are we doing now? For you to know, this is one of the worst crises that the earth is going through. I have to let you know. I have to be, not to be negative, but this is what I'm doing, what I like to do. And this is also for you to decide. And as a nonprofit organization, we are here to help you in any of these, if you want to get involved, if you want to refer me or the organization is a local organization that chef has had for 25 years. Okay, talking about the same, talking about the health for the people, the animals on the planet. So, all right, thank you. And now we're going to go to a break, I think 5 minutes, and I'm going to show you the whole menu now for Thanksgiving, for a compassionate Thanksgiving. Thank you.
Thank you, Chef Estela. Yes. Right after the break, the other side of the break, we have Chef Estela with her recipes for Thanksgiving. So thanks for your
Yeah, the
participation.
whole thing. Thank you. Yes.
Feel free to put your questions in the chat, which will be open for the rest of the program, and we'll be back shortly, 5 to 10 minutes.
Hi, can you hear me? I can hear us too now.
Yes, we can. Oh, are we in
Okay.
for a culinary treat, a festive treat? Chef Estela,
Exactly.
you've been
Yes.
preparing this for a long time, and
Yes.
it's a lot of work. So welcome back, everybody. This is the fun part. There's a lot of good information before, but I know this is what is really, you're in for a treat. You're going to get the full experience. And let me give you Chef Estela with this afternoon's program.
Thank you. So now we're going to the food demo, and today I'm going to start by showing you some of the product that I use for all this recipe, and I have been showing you more of that. So these are the dates, all right? So I use the dates for many of these recipes. When we go to with each individual recipe, this is the way that you can sweeten. Okay, this is an example of whole food. Okay, it's not a processed sweetener with dates. All right. Also, we talk about the coconut nectar. That is a low glycemic sweetener also that you can use. So thank you, Carlos. It's to advance. The other thing is that for the pumpkin, you can use, and I'm going to show you some of the baking takes a lot of time, but I did it. But also you can buy the organic can already, the pumpkin puree. Read ingredients, only pumpkin puree. Then you make your own pumpkin with the other ingredients. The other thing that we're going to use today, cranberries, beautiful cranberries. These cranberries also, I try to select them organic in here, the cranberries. And this one, we are going to have a cranberry sauce that you can make yourself with no additives. We're going to use almonds, dry almonds. This is another, I want to show you some products. These are food street. These are real fruit that you can buy for yourself, or you go somewhere, you are hungry, but you have in your pocket this fruit. These are real fruit and they are organic. So, and they don't have any other, it is 100% pure fruit. It's called fruit leather or fruit strip. It's only 69 cents each. You have different type that you can get with no other additives. Very important to read ingredients. Thank you. The other thing that you can have for yourself also is the American crackers. If you read the ingredients, these crackers are not baked in oil. So this is important because most of the crackers, they are fried or baked in oil. And this is what causes inflammation. And you don't want to have the oil. So it tells you here there aren't many like this one, many product that they don't have oil, but this one, they don't have oil. It has soy and it's organic. So that's why, or non-GMO verified, all right? So this is something that you have to look that, okay, non-GMO verified. The other thing that I want to show you, we buy these at Costco. These are raw, call them unsalted, unroasted cashew, because today we are going to talk about, we have some recipes with cashew, okay? So you need to put them in water for 4 hours. Put them in water. And you're going to see how they clean. The water comes out just dark. It tells you all nuts and seed, they need to be soaked first. The minimum is 4 hours. Then this is another good option for people who are allergic, or this is Enjoy Life. Enjoy Life has the chocolate already, that is in one of my recipes. And also they have these soft baked cookies. And as it says here, it's free from gluten and all the other allergens: wheat, peanut, tree nut, dairy, casein, soy, eggs, sesame, sulfites, lupin, mustard, fish, shellfish, and crustaceans. So all that is free from all these ingredients for people who are allergic. It's a real treat. You don't do this now that it's Thanksgiving. You can buy. It's called Enjoy Life. Enjoy Life product. They have all that, see? These are soft cookies, and you are having something that is healthy and delicious. This is another option too. I show the other crackers also, they are not baking oil. Also, and I'm going to show you, you don't need to use oil. You just use this parchment paper. Now they come with silicone. You know, I'm going to show you how I roast the cauliflower. I like this one because they come already cut. And you place this one on the baking. You line this on a baking dish, and it doesn't stick in there. And then you don't even have to put any oil, and it's easy to clean. Thank you, Carlos. And today I decided to make from one of the recipes, one of the that is in the children's session. Natalie, she gave us one of the recipe about with the Basmati rice. Basmati rice is aromatic, and don't use the white, please. Use the brown, as it says here. You can get the brown Basmati rice. Replace the white rice that is simple for the complex carbohydrate that is brown rice. We gave you a recipe with quinoa. That quinoa is gluten-free. Buckwheat is gluten-free also. So now there are plenty of other grains that they are healthy, they are slow release, and it doesn't cause your blood sugar to go up. And when we go to the recipe, if something needs a little bit to thicken, I don't use that a lot, but just if I need something to thicken, this is it's called gar gum, okay? And it's gluten-free thickener and binder. You just put a little bit, and I'm going to show you when we get the recipe of the cranberry, because cranberry are bitter, but it needed to thicken a little bit. So that one, when we go to the recipe, you can put in there gar gum. Okay, so I want to show you that this is also very good, and you don't have to use eggs, and you don't have to use any other thickener, and it's gluten-free. Thank you.
You prefer that, Chef Estela, over any kind of cornstarch if you need? This would be your preferred thickener, sorghum?
Yes, yes. This thickener is better than cornstarch, but sometimes I can use a cornstarch. Remember that if you use cornstarch, the corn has to be organic or non-GMO.
That's correct.
So this is why, and the corn give like a texture that need to be cooked. While this one, you don't need really to cook. If you are blending something, like I blend the sauce, you just add it. You don't need to cook. But it's just a quarter of a teaspoon that you need to put to thicken. So yes, there are many thickeners. Tapioca starch is another very good starch, that thickener that you can use. So these are some of the products that I wanted to show you, and that we are having in here. So you can use these alternatives also, and they are delicious. Okay, the Thanksgiving menu. So what is the first thing that we have? For appetizers, we have the stuffed cremini mushroom. One at a time, yes, that one. The stuffed cremini mushroom, okay. If you see in here, what are the ingredients? Okay, first we marinate them. Okay. Can you please bring me the spoon and the marinator? Just Carlos, no, yes. With the marinade, parsley, red onion, filtered water, and only 4 ounces of tamari. So you just marinate them in this liquid. The mushroom, thank you. This is fine. And for a few minutes, it can be 10 minutes or 15 minutes to take out. You can do it overnight also, if you want to. After you marinate them, you make the sweet red pepper pate. The sweet red pepper, how do you make that? You have 1 cup or so dehydrated walnuts. The walnut need to be dry, so that's why I say dehydrated. And but if not, you don't need to dehydrate them. Just by being, you take out all the water and all that, yes. And you just have 1 large red pepper. So I made this recipe again, and that recipe is just with the directions in here, page 34. I'm doing now the appetizer, stuffed cremini mushroom, page 34. All this one works perfectly well. You marinate the mushrooms, then you blend the stuffing, and you have really the walnuts and the one large red pepper. So you blend that, and the walnuts, it's what is going to give the thickness. So first you place the red pepper that is going to be, yes, thank you, watery. And then you put the walnuts. The consistency, yes, it is very important. Here are the walnuts, okay. That we say that. And look how beautiful it looks, like salmon. Okay, you may taste people, but I don't like, that's, and it tastes beautifully. You just need a 1/4 teaspoon of the Himalayan salt. Can you please bring me some paper towel, please? And now you are going to stuff them, okay? And I want to show you how it looks. Here, probably, if you can see close to the camera, Mhm. How you are going to stuff them. And you can pick up one, can be a little bit slippery. And there you have your stuffed rimini mushroom with red pepper pate. Delicious and healthy. Yes, just like this, but then we're going to take photo of all this. So this is one of your appetizer. The other appetizer is cashew cheese. Cashew cheese. Yes, we bring that with crudité. How do you make that cashew cheese? Very simple. You just you have 2 cups of cashew that I have already shown. So you just blend it in 1 cup with filtered water, 2 cups of cashew, 1.5 cups of filtered water, and 1 teaspoon of the salt, or a 1/4 teaspoon you need to go. If you cannot have salt, you have all the organic no salt seasoning that I show you. So here we have, and this is the texture that you get for your cashew cheese. This is plenty in here. You don't need to use any processed chips or crackers with crudité. And what do we have here? We have carrots. We have squash that they are very tender, the yellow squash, and celery. See? So here you have, this is your other appetizer. Yes, thank you. So here you are ready with the 2 appetizers. It's very easy, even though you can prepare the cashew cheese like 2 days before. All these pate, they stay well for 4 days, so you can prepare in advance also and keep them in the freezer. And now we are going with the roasted cauliflower. If you see here in the book, page 78 of the book, you have how you have the complete decorated, okay? We need to start with 1 small cauliflower or 1 medium cauliflower. Can you please bring me the small cauliflower to show? And how are you going to prepare this? Look at the bottom, okay? Carefully, you need to cut this out so you can see it cannot be just to be firm. So this is to show you the bottom. You need to be careful not to take out, you can take out this part, okay, also, and cut in here the base. So the cauliflower can sit on top of the what you are going to bake for 45 minutes. We put the sauce, okay, so can you bring me the other one? The cooked cauliflower, or you can tell the people we're going to have a turkey cauliflower. It looks very good, the turkey cauliflower, yes, the cauliflower. So I'm going to prepare that, I'm going to show you. This is the tomato sauce also. The tomato sauce that it is here in the recipe. This is how I just bake it for 45 minutes. That one worked very well. It is very tender. And here you have, of course, you need to decorate it now. So you just bake it with the sauces and with the tomato sauce. This is this is very important. That's why I gave you the tomato sauce. We also have we're going to decorate with, we're going to use the cranberry sauce. We already showed you the cranberries, okay? Yes, that, thank you, the cranberry sauce, yes. For the cranberry sauce, here, yes. Another spoon for the, it is, for the cranberry sauce, I gave you the recipe. This is the consistency that I put the thickener, a little bit of the thickener. Okay, so I use the recipe that is in here that I gave you. The tomato sauce, that worked very well with sun-dried tomato, ripe tomatoes, some parsley, dates. This is what is going to make a little bit sweeter. You don't need to put any of the other sweetener. And unrefined sea salt. This one doesn't have any ingredients that when you buy them, okay? So the tomato sauce just burn your stomach. So you need to be very careful what they put them, okay? A lot of chemicals and the GMO sweetener. So you need to be careful about that. And here you just use dates. Dates is whole food and it gives you the sweetness. I put 6 dates. If you think that you feel a little bit more, so you can have that. And the sun-dried tomato, it is what is going to make it thicker to have. I gave you other sauce that we didn't need that, but for this one, I just needed to be a little bit thicker. And if it's still you think that need a little bit more, so you put a quarter. This one I didn't have to put because the sun-dried tomato thicken. But if you think that it need to have to thicken, you just, I show you which is the thickener that you can use, okay? So for the berry sauce, please, this is on page 45. Here you have to make some corrections. So here, instead of 3 ounces of frozen berries, you need to put 6 for half a cup of water. So you have the 2 tablespoons of coconut, those 2 tablespoons, they were 8 tablespoons of coconut nectar. And yes, I used the thickener, okay? I used the thickener. So, and I gave you the, can you please see me? Can you still, can you call Jeff, please? Okay, hi, Stu. I see myself, but I don't see the other camera.
You're on. Everything is going well.
Am I on? Okay.
Yes, everything is
So,
fine.
I just want, please stay here, it's okay, because I didn't see myself and I saw the list, so I see, I wanted to make sure. So on page 45, you have the berry sauce. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, yes. So that's fine. So you can follow that recipe. And of course, you need to, I told you that for the cranberry, you need 6 with the cranberries and 8 of coconut nectar and a little bit, a quarter of teaspoon of the thickener, the garlic gum. And there you have that. So this is also, before I put all this together, I want to show you that on page 79, you have a mock turkey loaf, okay? It has the taste of a turkey, but it doesn't look, this one, you know, it looked like a turkey. It's round and we can make it look in that way. And it is made with the seeds, with pumpkin seeds. And the photo for that one, or then I can send you, you have another option that is in the book, in the cover of my book. This is the one, you know, you put in on the pumpkin seed, you may, all the directions are in there, okay? And then you just decorate with cranberries. So this is another option also that you can make if you don't want to make the cauliflower. The cauliflower is very tender, but this is, everything is tender and soft. So for the cranberry, this is this one also give you here the cranberry and the decoration. So you have that option. So what I'm going to show you that is how we are going to put all this together, okay? So yes, can you please bring me, and here I have from the oven already after the 45 minutes and with the tomato sauce. And now I need, we are going to decorate it with the yes, cranberries, okay, yes. The cranberries. These are the cranberries that are already cut out. So I'm going to put here on top some of the cranberries. I'm going to get, yes, that one, this one, I don't need it anymore. You can put it on top, you cut it in half. You just put it on top. It just look like the, here. Okay, here we put more, another one. So it's there. It doesn't fall. There. Okay. So it start to look like the photo. These are extra cranberries that we have in there. You can look at the photo that is on page 79. Of course, doesn't have, you can take out and put it in another container, but I decided to leave it in this one so you can see, okay? Then you can cut this one also and leave everything in there. So now we are going to use we need to get the green beans. Yes, the green beans already. So they are in there. We can put them around, and the squash. Yes. So here I have the green beans, and here I have the butternut squash. Yes. So we already have the tomato sauce. I'm not going to place more of the tomato sauce. Thank you. So here now, I'm going to try this one to make it look nice. Okay, so is that in there? So I'm going to put it on the side. Yes, I need some of the spoon. On the side, I'm going to put some. Can you please bring me the round almonds too? Because this is the green bean almond thing, you know. After we place this one, after we place in here around, so I'm going to use, I'm going to put some of the butternut squash. I'm going to put on the side also here, so it can look good. My table, my main dish, okay. I put a butternut squash in here that is very soft. It cooked in how many minutes did you have it this time, Carlos? 25 minutes or 30 minutes, you know, approximately.
About 30, 35.
Yeah, 30, 35 minutes. You do the same, you use a parchment paper. So here we have on the side the butternut squash. I can put more of the butternut squash here on the side. You know. Do that on the side. And here I have the green bean. Okay. I put more of the green bean in here top. more green bean here on the side, so it can look good. Then we're going to take a photo. Can I have the ground? This is a big dish. Maybe you want to get a smaller dish, so you put less here. Yes, that's less in there. The ground, yes. So here we have the almond in a coffee grinder to be the green bean almondine, you know. I just need another spoon, another small spoon. So in here, I'm going to make sure that these are going to be with the almond. Can I have the other cut out almond too, the little pieces? This is round of the almond. And here I'm going to put some of the cut out almond, okay, there for the green bean almondine. We put some of this one here also. Look how beautiful my turkey, my compassionate turkey look, you know. Or you can call it your cranberry, you know, that's for Thanksgiving. Now we are going to go with the cranberry, the cauliflower turkey, okay? And here we want to have, so here, for example, I have the extra for people then to have the extra. Okay, this one we can leave it in here. The green bean almondine, we already have the main dish. Okay, so you don't need any of this anymore, thank you. Here we have all this. And now I have my cranberry sauce. So I'm going to place here on top of the cauliflower. Okay, if you get one round like this, it's going to look very good. I can dive in here more, dive a little bit more of the cranberry. You can also place extra cranberry in here, so it can look good with the extra cranberries. Now there is more of extra cranberry in here, you know, that's thank you. And here are more cranberries to decorate. Here we have with your almondine. Okay, that's some in here because this is the season to have these beautiful cranberries. Organic. It's a little bit sour, but that's great, you know. We already place them in there, you know, some. Okay, here we can add another one there. Here, another one. And even though you can put more, because decorate with more, but I think that, let's see how it look like this one now. Yes, Carlos, yes. So I need another paper, yes, paper towel, please. So here we have how it look like, the green bean almondine. Just to bake, this is just to bake on the parchment paper. it's sweet. There is nothing to add. You know, it's not so sweet. And here I need the rice. So how we're going to have that one, you know, in the big table. Okay, so here we have the main dish. Then probably you want to keep it like this. You can cut this one. This is what I'm going to do so it can look better. Or it can be just like this, you know. That you have this beautiful, compassionate turkey. Okay, so there. I need the sauce, yes. And if we go now, yes, to page 98 in the children's section, here it says lentil, rice, and salsa. So this recipe was donated to me for my book for the children's session from planetumoja.com. This is Chef Natalie. Chef Natalie is also a personal chef, and she makes delicious. This is her own recipe for her daughter. Okay, she made this especially for her. At that time, she was 11 years old in 2019. That she loved this lentil, rice, and salsa. So from here, instead of the basmati rice, and on page 99, you know, on page 99, you have how she make a photo with the lentils and all that, donated this photo to me with plantain. They are the plantain also on the side, the baked plantain. And she made a fresh salsa. Which are the ingredients for the fresh salsa? So I show you that this is the brown basmati rice. It's so aromatic, you know. I just put the no salt seasoning and a little bit of the salt, okay? And that is, that one goes, when you serve, goes with the fresh salsa, okay? That even though we can put that on top to show. That fresh salsa, it has red onion, diced tomato, okay, that is here. Diced tomato, this is how it look like. And yes, what's this? The diced, oh yeah. Carlos made this one to make sure, look how he diced Carlos, with a lot of love and a lot of patience. Very, very small. Thank you, Carlos, you know. And this salsa when you serve, and it has an avocado too. I didn't want to put the avocado, but when serving, you know, we can put that salsa here on top. This is just how it's going to show the dish. You know, you can put a little bit, if it is a little bit dry, we always use sauce. So we have cranberry sauce, you know, so we have a lot of cranberry. Yes. Can you please put more cranberries in that one? Yes, in the cup. More cranberry sauce, okay. And so here we have the butternut squash. We have the green bean almonds, the butternut squash. All right. Here we have the salsa, the fresh salsa. Here even we can put a little bit more. This one, thank you. And you can dab a little bit on the side, you know, that's to the tomato, to the to give that festive look. So this is the size that you're having in here, and the main dish, all right, and the main dish is the cauliflower. Okay, now I'm going to put out the cauliflower first. This one can go on the side. Here I have more cranberry. And here we have, if you can look the camera, can you see that? I'm tilting a little bit so you can have a good look. And I think that it came out right. Of course, you can also use a smaller serving dish. And we have our cranberry sauce to add for anything. We don't use oil, that can be a little bit dry. And it is low glycemic. Yes, we're going to put all this one over there. All right, so this is, oh, we still have dessert now. So let's go with dessert now. Yes, for dessert. As I said, I took on the, here, this is in your guide, is the pumpkin pie recipe. For the crust, I use 2 cups of walnut and put in a food processor. You process first the walnuts dry, and then you add the dates, and that makes a dough. That makes a dough. And then you place the dough on any, I use a glass container for that. So this is about the crust. Yes, if you can read me. For the filling, you have 2 options. The easiest way is to use the pumpkin puree. But I just wanted to do just to bake the pumpkin. So you are going to need approximately, so the base is in here, you know, that's, it's already that you can see the crust. The crust is the walnuts. And then you just, what are you going to do with that one? How, what are the other ingredients that you're going to use? 1/3 cup of baked pumpkin pie puree. Then you add 1 cup of dates, soak and cut into small pieces. This is for the filling. 3/4 cup of unsweetened soy milk or any other plant milk. Here, in order to thicken, I use cornstarch. You can use tapioca starch. And of course, for this version, you need to bake. So once you have pumpkin spice, the cinnamon, then you have the crust, you bake the pumpkin, the pie pumpkin, as they call it. That is a little bit more work, but it tastes very differently. You line a pie container with parchment paper. You cut in half the pumpkin, you take out the seeds, and you bake for 40 minutes at 400 Fahrenheit degrees. Then you discard the peel, and you just dice the pumpkin in a food processor or blender. It can be a little bit watery, so you don't have the consistency yet. So you just pass that into a nut bag or a cheesecloth and squeeze and take out the excess water. So you have the consistency of the canned pumpkin puree, the consistency that you need. You just place that on top of the crust, and you bake it at 350 for 45 minutes. If you use the pumpkin puree, you don't need to do step number 2, that is to bake the pie pumpkin. You don't have to do that. But make sure that when you bake it, okay, it has to be at 350 for 45 minutes, no more than that, or a little bit less. And so for the topping, you make cashew cream. And how do you make the cashew cream? So it is the same, yes. For the cashew cream, you just use 1.5 cup or so cashew. You soak them for 4 hours. You have half a cup of coconut water or spring water. You put in a blender, a 1/4 teaspoon of lime juice, 1 tablespoon of coconut nectar, and you blend all that, you know. You just blend it, and then you have this consistency. Can you bring me the spoon? Yes, thank you. The nuts, okay, just even though you can, if you want thicker, you can use less water. And so here is your pumpkin, all right, made from scratch, as they say that, with the filling and the cream. You don't need to use any other cream, you just use cashew. So here we put a dollop on each slice that you serve, you know. You just put a dollop, and this is delicious, okay? So here you have the pumpkin pie with the cashew cream that is easy to make, and it's just cashew blended. And it tastes delicious. Well, happy Thanksgiving. Yes, thank you. Then we're going to take photos, okay? So there you have the whole Thanksgiving menu with the 2 appetizers, the entree, okay? And if you work with your family, somebody can make the appetizer, you know, you can divide. So this is to celebrate in a compassionate, healthy way at home.
Okay.
So,
First of all, Chef Estela, I want to
yes.
thank you. And on behalf of our participants, I'm sure they want to thank you. I know for a fact that it's a lot of work. I want to thank you and your team behind the scenes, Carlos and Jeff, for helping out and making things happen, along with Chef Estela preparing all of that and putting it all together for you. Our hope is that if you do embrace any of this, that you move forward with this. It's all your personal choice and decision what you're going to do. Set yourself up to succeed. Set yourself up to win. These are all, you know, evidence-based nutritional ways of eating and possible disease prevention that have been proven in studies by doctors. And you have to change what you're doing now to something else if you want to get different results. So just keep that in mind. Set yourself up in your kitchen, set yourself up on your grocery list, weed out the stuff out of your cupboards that you're not going to use anymore, give it away to somebody. If they don't embrace the same thoughts that you have, that's fine. But if you're going to take on any of this, it's great. It was a lot of information over these 6 weeks, and you know, you have a lot to reference with your ebook. And you can always look back at the YouTube videos. So with all that in mind, any questions we're going to take now? So
yes, and remember that I hope to see you, all of you, next Saturday. It's going to be just, I'm going to read some poems and bring any question that you want me to answer. We're always here to help you. AirSafe and Carlos and me, if you need any help on how to start or anything, So then we're going to give you just every 2 weeks. Jeff Tucker has a Veganville, he has Veganville TV. And do you want to say hi in here? No, today no, but next he's going to say hi. He's doing all this of the technology, and it hasn't been easy for him. But thanks to Stu and to him that I'm able to do all this workshop and everything to know right. There are some little problems with technology, but well, this is life, and
glitches.
we're here.
We try our
Exactly.
best. Yes. I opened up the unmuting. So if you would like to ask Chef Estela a question, just unmute yourself and please ask your question.
Is there any restaurant that you could recommend? So in case I can't seem to get it, I can at least try it, and to motivate me a little bit to do it myself. Is there any place you can recommend that might be similar to the style you're preparing?
For
In
example, Whole
I'm in
Food,
Miami.
Then we can talk. And Whole Food, for example, has a lot of options. Okay, so I can help you. It has a lot of options that I can tell you how to get things. Food, most of the food they are cooked with oil, but there are many things that they are not cooked with oil. Okay, so this is the greatest thing that you can do for yourself is not to eat with oil, not to cook with oil. So this is the most important thing. And there is a book also by Dr. Neil Barnard, who is a specialist. Then we can give you the right, that he wrote many books on diabetes, and he showed us, and he showed that it's not the sugar problem about the diabetes, it is the fat, and he's playing in his book and all that is the fat that is not allowing for the insulin to get into the cell. And there is a very nice graphic that everybody can understand. So fat, the oils, you can have this whole food, the nuts and the seeds and all that, but I'm talking about processed oil. This is a processed fat, all right? It doesn't have any nutrients. And so whole food, it would be one of the things, okay? The other option, there are some places where you can go and ask. Then I can give you a list. We can see that they don't cook with oils, okay? And they can have, what is called that cow? What is that?
Happy Cow.
Happy Cow. Happy Cow is an application also that you can check in there, and you can call and say, are there any dish? Or you can make one dish that doesn't have oil. You have here the recipe, and even though they say, I have the recipes. The other thing, there is we're always here to help you in any way that you think you want to start. I can, I do the grocery tour. Or if you want to do that, one day you say, I want to start with these recipes. Now you have the book. So I go with you, and I tell you, get this, because I know that it happened to me. It was too much for me, how to get ingredients and all that, So one day I just take you to the supermarket, you buy all the ingredients, and in that way you start building. And then the other time, another day, I done that, I coach people. I don't make the food for them, I just coach them. Here we have the recipe, okay? We have that, okay, say parsley, okay, cut out the parsley. It says onion, chop the onion, all right? So we go with the recipe, and it's very simple. These recipes, I made them again, and they all turn out well, except for the one that I told you, that it has to be added a little bit of thickener for the sauce. this is another option. We're here to help you. So if you really want to get somebody who would make food for you, we call Carlos, and Carlos make food for Jeff, you know, and all in the same thing, finding that. So there are a lot of options. Natalie is another chef that can go to your home and cook. You say, this one, I want it this way. I don't want oil, okay? Or you show them any of these recipes. How many of these recipes do you like? Do you think that you want to start with, you know? Even this recipe made them easier, you know? So, but of course, about buying, you can, the main thing is that they put oil, but you can find some places, you know, and that they can prepare with no oil. So Lamoy is another person who can go to your home and make the food for you, or just guide you, you know, if you don't feel that you want to follow that and with her guidance, you know. And but the most important thing is that you start making it, you know, with the help of me, that I can help you, or the help of Natalie, you know, the help of Lamoy, okay, that can help you make your own food, you know. So this is what I do. Instead of who can make the food for you, yeah, they can make the food for you. Yeah, for a while, somebody can make the food. Carlos come and he made the food for us when we called him, you know. And that is another option. But you're always going to be in the same place, because this is for a while, unless, you know, or maybe for a time. So we are here to help you. We can talk about what exactly you want to do, how you want to do it, you know. And we're always here to help people who really want to help improve themselves. Because one thing is to have the information, and the other thing is to have the book. Many people bought the book, okay? This is, I make copy of the book. Nobody, they told me, we don't have time to download and to look at it. I know, but there must be somebody. So this is what I do. I coach people, you know, I help them. I take them to the supermarket. This is what we're going to have. We're going to make this recipe. This is what we need to buy. I know exactly in less than an hour where the things are, because I know you go and you don't know where things are, you know. So you need to think that I want to spend money, but that money is going to be for my own health. So, and it's not a lot of money. There are a lot of places where you can buy, like Costco and BJ, you know, you can buy in very good prices. So yeah, as far as one specific restaurant, at this moment, there is all they cook with oils, unless you tell them, look, I have this problem, can you make without oil? It's very simple. They have to saute with water. They have to saute, it says in here, with vegetable broth, any of the thing, you know. So you explain to them, I want to be, what is the name of this other place that they have Mexican food?
Tex-Mex.
Tex-Mex. Tex-Mex is one of the places that you can call, because Tex-Mex used to have a dish that is cooked with no oil. You said, I have this problem, the Mexican food, it has the legumes, it has the grain that you need. There you have, and they have the vegetable, they have everything. And they have one dish because they belong to this group of restaurants. And I'm going to get information with you that they are nationwide, that they make one dish with no oil. So I'm going to get that information. Tex-Mex is one of them. They used to have it. But most people, you know, they want the oil. They want to have the oil, but we know, and especially for yourself, if you start just cutting the oil, it's not a big deal. You are not going to see, and you are going to see a lot of difference. Okay, so they are all those options and things, you know. Any other question?
Yeah, I wanted to add something, you know, that can impart some important knowledge and wisdom that I've learned through this experience with this organization as well. And Chef Estela's expertise is, don't expect to take this all in and be overwhelming to you. One thing you should have experienced over these last 6 weeks, or if you haven't been on here the last 6 weeks, you can review it on YouTube, is there's a good amount of information. The fun stuff was the recipes, but the information was valuable. Now, we don't tell you what to do, we show you what to do. Now it's up to you to take it to the next level and impart the information in as a lifestyle, not a diet. Now, you're going to go out in the future, maybe tomorrow, maybe next month, with family and friends, and they're going to want to eat a certain way. And we're not telling you, you know, not to cheat with them or to whatever. That's up to you, of course. But what I'm saying is, if you see the end result in mind, in other words, if you want to be at a healthy weight that you're not at right now, for instance, you got to do something different than what you're doing. If any of this resonated with you that Chef Estela has shared with you, then it makes sense to give it a good shot. And we're here to answer any questions you have and help guide you. So that's the biggest satisfaction that we want to get out of this, is that you've got some valuable information and then you can move forward with this. And again, you're going to be with family during the holidays, and they're not going to have the same way of thinking because they just don't know. And, you know, it's up to you to say, well, you could cheat, or you can have a salad there and say, I enjoyed seeing the family. I love you all and all that. You can do all these things. So don't make excuses. It's going to be hard. People are not going to support you all the time. And that's the fact of life, right? It just doesn't work that way. Everyone's going to be on the same page with you. Why would you want to do that? You're not going to do that. You're not going to succeed at that. You'll do it for a month. You know those kind of people. Do you know them? Maybe they're related to you too. But that's what life is all about. You got to do what you think is best. And, you know, we're hopeful that some of this resonates with you, and we appreciate your participation. If there's any last minute questions, just unmute yourself and ask a question if you'd like. Otherwise, you can think about it, and when we rejoin next week, you can ask any additional questions. We thank you for staying on. We're running a few minutes over, but it's our pleasure. And we thank you for joining us today. Thank you for all of your participation and all your good questions. Rebecca says this was unbelievable, Chef Estela, amazing recipes. So
thank you, Rebecca. I hope you can make it. Sure, yes.
Okay.
And you have everything in here, and you can call me if some of the recipe, you know, that's, thank you.
All right,
hope
everybody.
to see you next Saturday. We will give you the certificate, and we will, I read some poems to you if you want to read something, you know, to motivate you about your life.
Yes.
I would also like to ask if the products that you use are organic products.
Yes, all the products that I use are organic.
Okay, thank you.
Or non-GMO, genetically modified. We know that they are not genetically modified. There are certain, and we gave you the list, and Stu, you can put that in the chat, ewg.org. They have the 10, it's called the Dirty Dozen, the 12 that have the most pesticide. And those ones, they recommend to eat them organic.
Okay.
Why? Because this pesticide and all that, it go to your fat tissue. And then some people cannot lose weight, and it's not because it's real fat. They are all chemicals that they get stuck in the fat of the animal and in the fat of the people.
Of
And
course.
those fats, they get so strong that you don't have a blood flow, and they turn into tumors
Hmm.
also. So I want you to understand that. I didn't know, but then
Yeah.
doing all that, and yes,
Thank
so that is the reason. You spend a little bit more, and you know, it's not a lot of money. You know, the berries need to be organic.
Okay.
DJ and Costco, they have a huge bag of this one of frozen blueberries and berries, and it costs $11.
Mm.
Without a bag like this, you have for, I don't know, to make for a month or something. If you're going to have one smoothie every day, you
Yeah.
know that I recommend one green smoothie and the other with berries. You have that a lot. There are many vegetables that they are already frozen. Okay, for example, this organic that I show you, I bought them organic and frozen. If you cannot eat fresh, the next things would be frozen, only frozen. Read that it doesn't have any other additives or other chemicals or words that you cannot understand. It says frozen berries or frozen, that's it, no more. And they are already pre-cooked, so you just defrost them, you steam them a little bit, and they are ready to go, you know. So this is the other option too. It doesn't have to be. The legumes, you can cook them overnight. You can place them in water with baking soda, and the next day they are ready to cook. If not, you have the can. You can also, there is a can that I show you that it has, you need to read it, that it has only water. Okay, they don't have oil. All right, so they are just, and you just rinse them. Okay, you just rinse them to take out that water. And this is the best. The legumes, they have to be organic. Why? Because now by the time they are ready to harvest, they spray them. They spray them with pesticide. Does any of you know the name of the pesticide that caused a lot of problem and people got cancer from there? They start with R. Have you heard? No? They start with R.
Roundup. Roundup.
Thank
Roundup.
you.
Oh,
Roundup.
yeah.
Okay, Roundup. And you can, if you do things in the garden, you can also use Roundup, and you have to substitute that because this is affecting you.
Hmm.
Okay. And you know what happened. So I explain why organic, you know, the reason.
Yes.
Mostly is for the pesticide and not to have all these other problems. That sooner or later they will show up.
Yeah.
I had a case of a student, 14 years old, and that was around 15 years ago. 15 years ago. The people don't know, you know, children come. I taught immigrant children, and they eat whatever they find. They don't think that they have any problem, that they have all these chemicals and pesticide and all that, you know. And so all of a sudden she go to the doctor. She had something on the shin. Okay, it was like a little tumor, something, you know, a protuberance. So they said the mother took her to the doctor, and the doctor, they just made it was a tumor, so they need to know if it was cancerogenous. And it turned out to be that the tumor was cancerogenous. Do you know what the doctor told her? A very good doctor. The very good doctor. And doctor need to be careful because they can sue them. But the doctor told her, right now, from this very moment, the mother told me, she told me, you know, 14 years old, she has to stop eating all the junk food. You need to make fresh food for her.
Okay.
See? But most doctors can't say that because they can be sued,
Mm.
you know, unfortunately. But
Unfortunately.
this doctor was immediately from this moment on, no more junk food. See,
Good doctor.
they know, but sometimes they cannot tell you.
Yeah.
But if you say something, then you are going to cause a problem, you
Yes.
know.
Hmm.
So with
sad.
that one, instead of going, you know, to all the treatment with chemicals and all that, that is also to maintain. So cancer is what? Lack of oxygen to the body. This is what causes cancer.
Mm.
And the alkaline food that we eat is the food that we have, most of that was a 70 or 80%, that is alkalizing and not acidifying your body. So that's why that ratio start with 40 of plant-based with no oil, you know, and 20 or 10 of your protein. It can be plant-based protein, or if you use the animal protein, make sure that it comes from the most natural possibly, you know, no with antibiotics and fish wild caught and all that also. So we never knew about all this one. They never told us. But it takes people like me that I got sick and I started investigating, and then I got the right people that I learned. And then it becomes just, if you know something you want to share with people, it is also your responsibility. There are always people who are going to listen, even if there is one or two people, even if there is one person. So that's why it has to be organic.
Yeah, that's why it has to be organic. It's better.
But you can also use, as I said, that there are this list, ewg.org. Maybe Stu can put it, or next time we can put it, that you can go there and tell, you know, which is the one that has the 12 that you have to avoid and have them organic. And the other can be conventional.
Great. Okay. Thank you so much.
Yes, I put it on the screen now for a moment, and I put it in the chat, the website,
Yes.
ewg.org/food news/full-list.php.
Right.
It's actually the full list, which includes a lot of vegetables and fruits. So, you know, you got to be selective as to what you buy these days, and what you.
And also the product that you use at home. Also the cleaning products.
Yeah.
They will show you there too. They have that.
That's
The
right.
more natural that you can have your home,
The
you
better.
know, yeah, the
Okay.
better.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much, Estela.
Yeah.
Thank you, Rebecca.
I appreciate it.
Any
Yeah,
last minute
going to
questions?
make Thanksgiving, yeah.
Happy Thanksgiving to you
Carol?
too.
Well, I will see you next Saturday, and we're having the last with the testimonial and any other question that you may have, and giving you the certificate. Of course, we're going to send it by mail. Okay.
Okay.
Everyone,
Thank you so
thanks.
much.
There's applause in the
All
background.
right.
Thank you all for joining us
Thank
today.
you.
Until next time, have a great one. We'll see you
Until
then.
next
Take care.
Saturday.
Good night, everyone.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye now.